Probably. Well, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Hard Truths with Anne and Claudine. And we are here just to talk about everything and anything that you guys want to talk about that has to do with health and wellness and the spiritual world. Um, and Mother Gaia. We like to talk about Mother Gaia and the Master Creator. And I am Claudine, and I am a dosing specialist. I help people get off of pharmaceuticals, street drugs, alcohol, onto plant-based medicine. I help people deal with their traumas, face their traumas, and heal from their traumas through plant medicine and diet. I do have a facility in Glendale, Arizona. I am located off of 43rd Avenue and Union Hills. And you can go to elevatedbyclaudine.com to get more information. And this is my co-host, Anne, and she is from Australia, and she's a very, very good energy reader. And she's just your basic, simple person, just like me. We are just basic, simple people on this planet trying to figure out what's going on this planet Earth and why
Hmm.
we're here.
Pretty
So,
much.
yep, and today we're just going to talk a little bit about parasites. We're going to talk about change. And what was the other thing that we were going to talk about? And there was one more thing.
Earthquakes.
Earthquakes.
Was
Yeah,
it
what's going on
earthquake?
with this planet? Seriously, what is going on with this planet? Of all the stuff that's happening everywhere. I guess there's sinkholes happening, all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So that is what we're here to do this evening, and we will be here for 2 hours just chit-chatting with each other. We kind of just have this conversation with each other, and if you guys want to come in and chime in, please do. It is we do Q&As. We love it when you guys come in and give us messages and ask us questions.
Mhm.
Um, it makes it more exciting. It makes the time go by really fast too.
Mm. It does.
And it does, it does, it does. So, Anne, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about Anne.
Hello, I'm Anne. I'm a I'm a waitress at a Thai restaurant. I'm a mother of two, and I am an energy reader. I see energy. Something happened and the world changed, and I could just see, and I could have dreams, and like I don't know what happened.
She does
It's
have
all
dreams. She's got some good
yes.
dreams.
I think that's what I think that is what confirms for me that I had particular gifts is when the dreams started coming in, and the dreams were always completely on point and true, and I was seeing things, and I was being told things that I could go to other people and they would go, what the hell, that's true. So that's when I went, whoa. What's happening?
And she's done it to me many times. So,
Completely on point.
so she is the real deal. Let me go ahead, you guys. Let me just make sure everything looks good here, real quick. I forgot to put a message out there for people that were going live. Got a couple reminders I got to send out. So, how was your weekend? How you doing after your hometown,
Yeah,
Thailand, pretty much had a 7.7 earthquake? That's insane.
crazy. And it was a full proper earthquake. Like it was like this was, they said it came from deep, deep, deep inside the earth. And that's why I guess it had such a rumble, all the surroundings and stuff. But it ripples down into like North America and stuff. Like under us, the plates, it yeah, it sure moved. It sure
It
shifted.
did. It did. I
Um
don't know
yeah.
if we've got Victor. Victor's on.
Hi
And we've got,
Victor.
yeah, Victor just said, "Hey, women." Hello, Victor. Thanks for coming in. And then we've got Nova.
Hello
Nova in the house.
Nova.
We've got our regulars, just the four of us here. But okay, so before we dive into it, you guys, and we start talking, ask questions of anything you guys want us to talk about tonight. Go ahead and put it on there. We'll do what we do. As some people do know, and I might sound like a broken record, Nova is a client of mine who I am getting off of 14 pharmaceuticals. She's down a bit on a few of them. And how are you feeling, Nova? How's it going with having that implant taken out? I'm curious to know because I feel like every week you're just going to get better and better. And then I'm also Victor's another client of mine that I'm working with now. He's actually a client and a friend of Ann's who started coming to see me, and now I'm trying to help him with getting rid of his parasites. Um,
Sites.
and we're going to talk about parasites tonight, you guys, because I've got a kadoozy for you guys. Holy moly. I've gone off the radar as I haven't texted Nova or Victor text anybody in the last few days because
You're
I've been
rebooting.
yeah, I've been through it. But we'll talk about that in the here in the live, you guys. It's a lot of information. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. And for those of who need it, they need it. I don't, it's kind of graphic. It's pretty gross. But okay, we've got Victor who just said it's happening so slowly. Your psychic gift comes slowly. I just got your message on Messenger, Claudine. You just let me know that you're like, oh yeah, I did. And then I just saw that you messaged me about something, and I'll get back to that. I just had to get off of Messenger, you guys. I had to get off of everything for the last couple of days because I had something come out of me, and it was like really, really, really weird. Okay, and then Nova says, I'm getting better, but I'm still dealing with a lot of emotions. I feel very angry, and it's not fun, rather uncomfortable. Ooh, you're pissy. Woo-hoo!
Clean out your liver. If you're feeling anger, find your liver.
Yeah,
That is what I would say. The liver holds and regulates a lot of our hormones as well. It regulates all of it. So, yeah,
that's it.
get things to cool down your liver.
Yep.
Drink milk, thistle tea. I get dandy thistle and I make like a little tea. Put some cloves in cloves. I drink tea but I really find it calms down my liver. Like it soothes me, but calm that liver down. Drink celery juice, beetroots, pure. Just calm that liver
Yep.
down.
Yep. She's right. Get the milk thistle and the dandelion. And another thing that's really good for that too is it's also good for arrhythmia. So you're a win-win here, Nova. That is a really good tea to do. Um, and
Tell your
then we
liver
got
to love
Victor.
it.
Yeah, and your liver will love it. We've got Victor chiming in here. He said, "Stop consuming GMOs, sugars, meats, and other processed foods. Start eating live, eating raw fruit and vegetables." Now, yes, Victor's on one. I got him going. I've got him going on a regimen. He's taking my medicine now too, and he is getting off sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And that is huge. That is a huge one. I've been off of sugar now for what, 15 months? I'm going on 16 months. And I think that is what happened to me, how I got rid of whatever came out of me yesterday morning. Okay, we'll just get into it, you guys. I'll go ahead and tell my story. And then, so last week sometime, it was, oh, you guys, I think it was around Tuesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. I just had this feeling that I needed to go on a fast, like get on a fast and and I did. So I went on a fast and then came Sunday and I was pounding I added two new herbs to my diet. Um and then I was doing my vinegar water and everything else that I normally do. And yesterday morning, I went to go to the bathroom. And this is this is normal for me to get up, go to the bathroom, clear out my system. This is something that I do. And it felt like a normal bowel movement, like everything was going to be good. And then I went to the bathroom, but I remember going up the stairs thinking, I've already kind of went to the bathroom this morning once. Why am I having to go to the bathroom again? I've been fasting. I haven't eaten shit in 3 days. I've eaten nothing except for papaya and papaya seeds and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I went to the bathroom and it felt real heavy, and I was like, "Oh shit!
I
Oh
love those
no!"
kind of poops.
I was like, "What the heck?" Yeah, but when you're on a fast for over 3 days, like you should
Mm.
yeah, something that heavy shouldn't.
It's coming from deep, deep, deep
Yeah, and it
within.
didn't hurt. It did not hurt. I was in some discomfort though the last 3 days that while I was fasting, you guys, believe it or not, I was very bloated. I was I couldn't understand it. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I should have lost at least 5 pounds of water weight by now. Nope. Nope. Actually, it felt like I was getting more bloated. So, anyways, sure enough,
Mhm.
I got up, I looked in the toilet. I didn't have my phone with me, you guys, because I just thought I was going to it wasn't like it's been in the past. In the past, I knew when something weird was going to come out. You okay?
You were just slapped really
Oh.
loud, and there's no wind.
And I looked at the toilet and there was a big blob of green something. I've been taking a lot of chlorel. That's one of the new things that I added was I've been taking chlorel drops.
Hmm.
And am I saying that right?
Chlorophyll.
Yeah,
Chlorophyll.
chlorophyll. Yeah, chlorophyll. Sorry.
Mhm.
And so everything's really green on me. Everything's green. And I looked in the toilet and it was a green blob, and then something separated itself from the blob. And the only thing I had is my incense. I burned incense in my bathroom, so I had the end of the sticks. That's all I had. And it's not a very strong stick, you guys.
No, that'll
It's
snap.
not. It's the incense. And I
Especially
went
if
and
this
I
thing can
grabbed,
swim.
yeah, I went and I grabbed it. I was trying to grab it with my hands and it slipped and it slithered down the toilet. And this thing was about 6 inches long, you guys.
Holy
It was a
shit.
proper snake. It was like a proper snake. It was not flat like the other one that I gave birth to.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's big.
That's crazy. That's that. Yeah, I don't know. I see some of those videos of people doing their colonoscopy, and like some of the stuff that comes out from people that just is like miles and miles long, and it's just yeah. I don't know
As you
what.
know, I've done Clonodics. I've been on that
Yeah,
bandwagon. I used to go get Clonodics 3 times a week. I was
maybe
on it.
that's what's opened up your
Nothing like
system.
Nothing like that ever came out of me. Just Candida. Candida was the only thing that they got all my Candida. Well, not all of it, but they got a lot of it out. That was it.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that ever came out. Oh, and then there was something that came out one time, and she was massaging me so hard on my stomach up here that we felt a pop. We both heard a pop, felt a pop, and that thing just went flying through the tube. We don't know what it was. It went too fast. We have no idea.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I
There's
know.
so much
I know.
shit backed up in our systems. Like there really, really is. And every day you poop, that doesn't mean you're clearing out your system. You're just clearing out the garbage from what your liver and everything could like dispose of and what they found as junk that but we have so much backed up inside of us. Like that's why fasting is good and then you're detoxing too and you're getting stuff from so deep within because that's like flushing you out from like probably your lungs. All of our intestinal channels run through there. Like it's all connected. So like your poop fat and their arms are getting big and fat and their neck. That's just because they're piling up with poop in their body. Like
It's
really,
fatty
if you
liver.
think of it,
Facts. It is when you make the
yeah.
liver work too much and it can't keep up with what you're putting in your body. Because if you're eating 3 meals a day, you better be pooping meals a day. What goes in your mouth should come out of your rear, period. Same weight, same nothing, same everything. And I know this sounds crazy and everything, but I look at my poop, I make sure every morning, whatever I ate, it all comes out the next day.
Mhm.
I'm very good at that. I'm on a very clean diet, you guys. I have been for quite some time now. I stopped eating meat 7 years ago, red meat. No, I stopped eating red meat 10 years ago, and I stopped eating meat altogether 7 years ago. I will eat some fish here and there because I understand I need my omegas. I am a middle-aged woman and I understand the omegas, but it has to be fresh fish caught somewhere in the sea or in a lake somewhere. And I will eat that. Anne will tell you she's been working with me. We're going on 6 years. I am a clean person. Nothing
Mhm.
goes on my skin because I understand the liver. I understand it, and I've been practicing this for over gosh, probably about the clean straight eating at least 7 years. You guys, except for
Mhm.
the sugar. That's a thing. I just got off sugar. What, 16 months ago? That has something to do with all of this, Anne.
Mm, for sure.
It has
Oh, for
something to do with
sure.
it.
Sugar is the
Yeah.
most basic one, but I think that's why they give it like sugar is like poison to the human. Like good sugars are good, but like that candy sugar, that processed sugar that people just get, it's poison. Like even when it enters your body registers it as a poison. So it sends all your blood cells to go and attack it. And that's what brings down your immunity when you have lots of sugar because your blood cells compute it as a poison. So that's where they're all going to break it down and attack the poison. So it leaves your body open to like stuff because you can't have that many healing cells doing one thing and protecting the rest. They're all doing that because it registers as poison. So to put parasites in a human to want to eat sugars, I think that's like such a basic, like that's just a very basic. Anyone who has like this massive sugar addiction, I think that's a very, you go, oh yeah, well, you want to cut that addiction, cut out the parasites, and that's just the basic ones you're going to cut out. Like what's coming out of you, I think, are like the deep ones that find like your spleen to go into, or like you know, really dark,
I
deep
think they're
places.
the ones that really control you.
Yeah,
They,
control
this
system.
one, it's part of the control system. It
Yeah.
really is. These things are laid upon us, you guys. And so during this, and I'm continuing this journey, you guys. I mean, this just happened yesterday, but the whole thing started like 4 days ago. And yes, Nova says, so interesting. I know I have something in my intestines because it discomfort and I can feel it at times. I definitely need a good detox with time to rest. Yes, they do move. You can feel them.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of it, they'll make you feel gassy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, those 3 days I was fasting, I was bloated, I was gassy. It was just weird. I was like, what is going on here? Well, it was it trying to loosen up. And then what
Mm-hmm.
else I do, you guys, when this happens, and I do this every morning, I have this gun and it vibrates my lymphatic system. And I go through all my lymphatic system, everywhere that I need to go, and behind my knees and under my feet. And I just vibrate and pound the shit out of my lymphatic system. And when I feel something, is when I feel one of these parasites, I will really go deep. I will go so deep into that area. And that is what happened again. That was the one thing that was the same as all the other ones that I've gotten rid of. Now, mind you, you guys, this is like the sixth one this year. Is it? Yeah. This is the
Mm-hmm.
sixth. Yeah, this is like no, no,
Oh,
it's I
that
had the
is three
fluke.
in
I
the
had the
last year.
fluke. I had the fluke. And then I had those long ones that came out. That was about three of
Pin,
those.
not
Then I had
pinworm.
one that crawled out of my
Tapeworm.
butt. The one
Pinworm.
that yeah, the pinworm. Then I had one that crawled out of my butt last week. I got a picture of that. I didn't send you a picture of that one. I was like, that better. What the hell is that? When I ran to the bathroom and
They're
I'm
just
like,
they're
it was
just
a little one though.
exiting
That
your
was a little
body.
fluke. Yeah, that was a little
Mm-hmm.
fluke. And then this big one came out. So
Mm. Oh, they're nasty things. They're nasty, nasty creatures. Oh, yeah, I don't like them. I know I have them. I'm always trying to clean them out however I can, but it is hard. Like, I do understand, like, why people don't want to do the extremes because there's so many things that you have to sacrifice and give up, and, or I guess to a person, give up like alcohol, sugar, um, even like I think they say when you're doing a parasite detox, you can't eat a lot of rice because they feed off of something from the rice. Like
No, I'm
there's so
done.
many
I'm
things you can't
done.
eat.
I'm done. I'm done. I am so done. I'm done with sugar. I'm done with starch. I'm done with yeast. That is what they feed off of. I will never put that shit in my body again. Like you guys, I swear by it. And Anne knows me. She knows I won't do it. I won't do it. I will stop.
What are you left
No,
eating? Greens,
no, I
broccoli.
can. No, there's good starch. I'm learning it. I'm learning right now, you guys. I'm learning about the good starches. Okay, or yeast. I'm sorry. Yeast is naturally made in the body. Your body makes natural yeast, okay? All starches come from yeast. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, where the hell are these starches coming from that are inside the foods? They're just more GMOs. They're just more crap out there.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you guys, like I said, I'm middle age. I've been like cooking in this soup for a while here on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here, I was a bartender for 29 years. I work next to a deep fryer. So yeah, it's all real. This is real stuff. And if this is happening to me, I can only imagine
What's in other
what
people?
everybody else is carrying. Yeah.
I know, right? She said,
Yeah.
Nova says, I literally feel the bubbles being created. That is
Yeah.
parasite. That is
That's
just
okay.
basic parasites. And that's what
Okay.
makes you bloated because they poop. The problem with the parasite is they eat all your nutrition, but then they also poop and pee inside your body. And that's why you get like bad breath and you get because their garbage is just sitting inside your body and
Mhm.
your intestines. So then you get bloated and like it's just a domino effect with parasites, like between them eating your nutrition that until you can't get any nutrition, and then pissing and pooping in your body, you're just a mess. And the bubbles is them. If you have bubbles, I know the bubbles because I used to feel them up behind my ears and stuff, and it would drive me insane, like just absolutely insane because it was such a physical thing, but nobody understood what I was talking about. But I have seen recently that more people are starting to say, like, there's even a famous housewife that she's saying she has some kind of parasite in her brain and she feels bubbles and popping. And it's like, yep, that's you're hearing your lymphatic system and you're feeling it inside your body. And those, what the sensations, the bubbles you feel, they're real because it's a live creature inside your body.
Yes, and okay, so you guys, what got me on this journey? This is when I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago or so, I would see bubbles in my poop. Like I'd go to the bathroom, I'd look down at the bathroom, and I would see bubbles coming out. And I was like, what is that? Why is there
Mm.
bubbles coming? Little air bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. Check it out, you guys. Start paying
Mm-hmm.
attention. I mean, I know this sounds disgusting and weird and gross, and I'm not a doctor, either is Anne. We're far from it. We don't even know anything about really medicine at all, but we're just real people having real experiences and wanting to know what the heck.
Mm-hmm. What's
But when
happening?
that's, yeah, why is this happening? And so that was the first thing that got me thinking, oh shit, there's something going on
Mm-hmm.
much deeper.
And it's
I know.
planned, and
mm,
it's not just like coincidental stuff or oh this has just happened because nature has progressed and this is what, no, these are like things that have been very well planned, and how it enters our body and how they're going to attack our body. And
we
that's
were
why
implanted.
sugar is an agenda, like the whole processed sugar thing. It's an agenda, like that's how I see it. And they realize that what's the easiest way to put something in a human? Give them yummy food, give them food that they like, and then they're going to get addicted because these things that are inside them are going to be addicted to these products, and these products are going to make them sick, but they can't help themselves and they have to keep eating them because these things are inside them that make them want to eat these particular things that make them sick. And it's just goes around and around and around doesn't it? Because unless you kill off what's making you sick, which all starts from what got into your body as a parasite. So,
Yes, and I do believe these are planted in us. That was the first feeling I had afterwards. I was like, holy shit, when did that get planted in me?
mhm.
Or Nova, you're right. I always wondered if that was from where I had a feeding tube when I was on life support. Exactly. Stuff like that, trauma like that is the start or an implant of a parasite. I totally believe that because the other dots connected to this, you guys, is where I got this tattoo. Okay. Next thing you know, I don't dream, you guys. I do not dream. And all of a sudden, I'm dreaming. And then I'm dreaming about praying mantis bugs, the praying mantis, and it's telling me. And this person who gave me this tattoo, you guys, he's a tattoo artist. He was a manager of the tattoo parlor two doors down from my facility, and he was a friend of mine. He was actually a client. And he had told me about he had really really bad seizures, that's for one. And he would tell me about this abduction. He was abducted like 6 different times by the praying mantis species. Mantis, they just call them the mantis, that's what they really call them, but the praying mantis is the bug that resembles them. Okay, he told me about when he was abducted by them, and then and he was implanted. You could see it on his chest. He was good and implanted there, and then he was also implanted in his scrotum. That I don't know, I didn't check that. But I do have a friend who dated him, and she verified it. And he was a really nice guy, but this guy had seizures like I've never seen anyone. I don't even know if he's alive right now, to be honest with you. Um, and Yeah, so I come to find out that the reason why we have parasites, which are called archons, you guys, was planted on us by a species who sits at the head of the table, who's part of this great big game of the omniverse, and they're mantis. And yeah, they're the ones who put the parasites on us. That is the
Mhm.
species who brought that to planet Earth and put that on the humans, which were the 5.0 humans. And it was like the fifth generation of humans on this planet. And that's what I believe this is what I was being told, you guys.
That's
So
crazy.
I know.
I've never liked praying mantis. I've always been so petrified of them as a child. And then I was telling you before, I was watching like they were explaining how parasites work, but you can get a praying mantis and stick them in a cup of water, like put their bum in a cup of water, and out of their bum, parasites, like that's where you see and understand how they work. They full all come out of the bum. Oh, gives me the heebie-jeebies. So
Yes,
that's how
see
the
you
praying
guys.
mantis
Yeah,
works.
and Anne has
It's
this information how the
uh,
parasites come out of their bum and that they're parasite bugs. So this all
yeah,
makes sense.
it makes
I didn't
sense.
know that until we started talking before the live. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh. So everything I was shown in my dreams and what I was told is it. I think it might be true. I mean, I'm
yeah.
still
It
pondering on it.
makes
I'm
sense.
still trying
It
to.
makes
I'm.
sense.
It does make sense, and it all. And we had an energy exchange, you guys, because he gave me this tattoo. But I do believe when he gave me this tattoo was when he was in the best time of his life. He was not having seizures at that time. He was a very happy guy. Um, and then I'd probably say about 2 weeks after this is when he rolled his car, got a head injury, and things started going downhill for him. But still, we had an energy exchange, and if his soul is owned by the mantis species, I don't know. So there could be I guess there's a connection there. I'll let you know. I'm still trying to
Mm.
piece this together. So
Mm. Isn't it funny? Um, Ryan, do you remember Ryan Garcia? Like maybe last year or something, he was having a big mental breakdown, and like he was in the media saying all this stuff about that cave that they go to. But he did say this one thing. I saw a clip of it, and he said the government know about the aliens. They have FBI and full disclosure about the aliens that live under the sea, and they watch you, and when you get to different points and they decide that they need to make you sick, they go into your stomach and they trigger different things in your stomach to make you sick, and that's why people get cancer. And he said they have this, that the aliens that live under the ocean who do this stuff to you.
Hmm.
I
I
don't
believe it.
completely, but that's that's great. Like, that's great. But your stomach, that's where all the parasites get put into. So maybe that's what
I
they're
think it's
doing.
a belly button.
It's the
They get,
air.
yeah, it's the belly button cord, the belly button.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a central nervous system where they control everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
do believe we were talking about this last weekend. I
Mm-hmm.
totally believe you're right. And I believe that everyone has a kill switch. I believe, and they
Mm-hmm.
had control of that kill switch.
Mm.
I believe that a lot of strokes, heart attacks, a lot the way people die has to do because they pulled that kill switch. You know how you've heard that story of that healthy person who ran and had low
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol and was super healthy, and all of a sudden, boom, they were just gone?
Dead. Mm-hmm.
A kill switch because they got too light. You cannot be, if you got too light on this planet, you're gone. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
think. Yeah.
Possibly. It was interesting. Like, I was very, I'm interested to see what he meant by that, and what's the, like, what's the full story to what he's saying. But I thought it was interesting because he said a lot of things that were very truthful, like, while it was happening, and you know, but they shut them down pretty quickly. But I thought that was interesting because I know there's full disclosure about aliens being in the ocean. Like, that's the one thing that they have said. They will say, yep, there are aliens that live in the ocean. Like, that's FBI full disclosure type of stuff you can look up. So the fact that they have some kind of system where they watch you, these aliens watch you in the ocean, and then they can go inside your stomach and they can trigger different things in your stomach, which to me is like, maybe that's the whole parasite connection, is they can trigger that nest of parasites that's like sitting in your liver and just feasting away, and they can just go in there and trigger it and create, cancer to be showing up inside your body. I don't know. It was interesting that
It is
it was
interesting. It
once
is.
again
It is.
about the stomach, and triggering things in the stomach and parasites. Like, it makes sense if that's how they can trigger it, is physically, is like physically trigger the parasite that's sitting in your body. Because there's some parasites, like they say, when you try and kill parasites, they're smart enough to understand they're trying to be killed off, and they'll go and find a better place to hide in that's harder to kill them off, and they're just that intelligent that they just continue to do this. Like, that's how hard they are to kill. So.
They
Mhm.
are. They're smarter than us. They're very tricky. They're very smart. But of course, as you guys know, I do a lot of mushrooms with a
Mhm.
lot of intentions. And I know my shroomies, they're fungus too, and they're fighting back. They're helping me. I know they're on this fight with me. Victor says about natural sugars, get stuff that doesn't have added sugars. Yes, not added sugars, unless it's natural added sugars is fine. I can feel them parasites on full moon nights. I have to stop eating crappy sugars or I won't open my third eye the way I want to. Very good. Yep, that you're right, Victor. You're on the right road. It's a long process. Nothing happens overnight. Um, and the quicker you can get off of those nasty sugars, the faster you'll start to. First of all, like when I text you and I told you, when you get off sugars, you have a profound spiritual experience. And it's different from week to week. You go into week one, you start to like feel lighter. Week two, week three, week four, all of a sudden you're feeling this amazing lightness inside of you. And every week it gets different, it gets stronger. And then you have to learn to work with that. And you have to learn how to ground yourself without having to go and grab that shit food. So it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve all the way. And then when you get to be as far as I am now, 15 months, you give birth to big old snakes.
Oh, but you feel so much better. Just that
I
bloatedness.
do.
Like, I hate the bloatedness that you get from parasites. Like, I just, that is the hardest part. Just it's so uncomfortable. Every time you eat, and you just have that feels like a rock for the first like 20, minutes, half an hour. It's like if I can just
Uh-huh.
eliminate that in my body, I would be happier. And if that means killing parasites, like I'll do it because it
Yes.
does
Yeah.
not feel good. I don't like how parasites make you feel inside the
No.
body. They
And they
make you
make you
feel like
crave. They
foggy.
make you crave all this bad stuff.
Mm. And you're just constantly just feeling yuck, like just feeling yuck in the stomach, yuck in your energy. It's not worth
Yep.
it for me. Even the ringing in the ears, I have fixed a lot of that kind of stuff just by detoxing from parasites. Like even like the bubbles and stuff. Like I don't feel them behind my ears and ringing. Like it's the ears. And why does your ears ring? I don't know the answers to why your ears ring, but what I can say is compared to 2020, 2021, when my parasites were like, they were letting me know that they were in me and they needed to be extracted or at least killed ASAP. The ringing used to be super bad back then, and now it's so much better. And I haven't gone to, get my ears done or checked. Or I don't have a hearing. Like the ringing just subsided and got so much better as I detoxed and killed off, just the basic parasites in my body. But yeah, health wise, I've just felt so much better with everything from like
I've
ridding my.
I've never really had ringing in the ears until a couple of weeks ago when I got that ear infection or whatever it was that I had.
Mhm.
That was the only time I've ever really had ringing in the ears really bad. I get it here and there. Um, but it goes away. It goes, and I feel to me, I think that's a frequency. I think that's
Mhm.
a frequency charge it's putting on us through the 5Gs
Mhm.
because these parasites react to that 5G. Well,
Mhm.
5G towers, I don't think 5G towers are 5G. I think it's a bunch of BS.
Mhm. They're doing something to us. It feels like a
It's
microwave.
radiation frequencies. Yes, that's what they're doing is part of the control part of, but they call it 5G, I guess. But
Mm.
um, okay, so you guys, I sent a video to Anne. Oh, should I play the video about that girl who's talking about when she's driving with so this lady's driving around with the EMF radar reader, and I own one myself. Anyone can pick them up. They're like $10, you guys. And she's driving around town with it. And as she's driving around town, she's picking up the cars coming by her. Some of them that might have, I guess, some cars are equipped with Wi-Fi or something like that.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Anyways, and the meter would go up a little bit. It'd go up, and then all of a sudden she goes by the by the 5G towers, and it just goes off the radar. So, and she's driving around town. So that, I mean, that
That's
is
what we're in.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we've got
There's
one on every corner.
there's definitely something up with those towers, but because I was a certain way my whole life, I felt different things, but like physically in the body, I was pretty much the same. And in 2020, right as they were right as they announced COVID and they did, okay, we're gonna have this big lockdown and COVID. And when they did the lockdown, pretty much from that point on, I could not breathe. I physically could not breathe, and I didn't know if it was fear. I didn't know what was going on. I was so scared of COVID because I thought, oh, but it's still a virus, and if I get caught, then I don't want to be tested. I don't want to become a lab. Like the fear of what they, made us feel like you were going to be a lab rat or something, and I didn't want nothing to do with it. So I just kept the non-breathing inside, and it just got worse and worse and worse until I had to deal with the issue because I physically could not breathe. Like it was it was an actual like I felt I felt like water. I'd gone into like some kind of water tank and I was just filling up with water. And like I would lie down, especially when I would drink, I would feel that. I would lie down and my ears just felt like I was in a tub of water. And then I eventually went to the doctor and they gave me like these like medicine and stuff. and it started to break up a little bit, and I would just have water, just it was just like COVID, and I had water just coming out of me. I don't know if I had COVID, I could have, who knows, but I still reckon, because I kept being like a certain way. I reckon it was the towers. I really do, because as time has gone on, I felt different in the body, but I've also noticed there's more towers, and there's more, and now it's just all the time. Like every 10 houses, what they say with 5G, is for 5G to work, it has to be every 10 houses they have to have a tower, and I live in a very, like, it's buildings on this side, and then the main road. So as I drive down the road, I'll see every 10 houses, there's a tower. Every 10 houses, there's a tower. And it's like, is that what triggered my health to change back in 2020, where I had to start, like, you know, like accepting these things were happening, and change the way I do things, and change the way I eat, and change my habit. I couldn't keep being that person because my health just would not accept it. And it's like, why such a sudden change? The only thing how can something, it's not spiritual, this is a physical thing, because my body's reacting to something. And how come after 38 years, all of a sudden this COVID is like being blasted, but also there's a bunch of 5G towers going up, and my health is changing. And I don't have COVID 24/7. So it's definitely something in my atmosphere that's making me have this reaction and have these health issues. And the only thing I can think of is every 10 houses, there's a big, huge 5G tower. And what's that doing to our bodies? Like, you go and stick your head around a bunch of microwaves and turn them on, you're going to feel your brain. Go in front of a microwave with a pair of headphones on, listening to music, your music will start to jump. Like, it will cut, it will jump, it's so creepy. It feels like it's going to blow up on your ears. And that's just from the microwave being on, and it's radiating, and it's affecting like how your headphones work. So imagine that all around you. You're just encapsulated in this kind of microwave atmosphere, and all these radiating EMF waves going through. How is that? This is why I said to you, remember we were talking about the aliens coming out of the sky, and I said people have to understand they will die, because when you have this kind of stuff that has this kind of energy, and you can't see it, the 5G towers, what they're putting out in our atmosphere, we can't see it with our physical eyes. But how is it affecting your physical body? The human body is now taking in this radiation, like, and I think they test it at times, and they turn it up more, and they're just seeing how are humans going to react to these
That's the
5G
ringing.
towers.
Yeah, that's what I feel causes that tendonitis. When they start to ramp up the frequencies, you start to hear the ringing in the ears. You start to sweat for no reason. You can be in the
Mhm.
middle of 50 degrees, all of a sudden you start sweating. You
Mhm.
start feeling nauseous.
Mhm.
You start feeling a lot of weird things going on in the head. That's where mine
Dizzy.
goes.
Mhm.
Dizzy. Yeah.
I do believe
Weird
it's all the
cravings.
5G towers.
Oh, for sure. For sure it
Mm.
is. And then Nova, I like what she wrote here too, because Nova, I was saying to Anne before we came on, you don't hear about the mantis species. You really don't. You hear about the Arcturians, the Palladians, the Lyrans. You hear about all these other alien races, but you don't hear much about the mantis. And I'm with you on that. I heard about it a few times because of cartoons and shows I've watched, but you don't ever hear any spiritual people or anything talk about the mantis until today. And you know what, I asked God to show me what it was about the mantis and Billy. I asked for that request, and I think that's what all of this was, and I got an answer on it. And another answer I got on this, again, you guys, what I was told was, Claudine, everything is about energy. Everything, we tried to teach you that, we tried to tell you that everything was energy. Everything is about energy, period. So I'm so Then she says, it makes sense though. They are protected insects. So look at, there's some more information that another human has. Anyways, what I was going back saying is I trust information from people like you, people like Ann, people like me, us just basic people just having these conversations. I trust that information. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
It's real information.
It's real.
Um,
Exactly. They're experiences. They're things that we're going through or have gone through or continue to go through. And it's people talking. That's why I believe, like, with these spiritual, you want to get into the spiritual realm, you should talk to other people, and you should have that kind of counsel, and, you know, find what, you can talk about openly. And
yes,
I think
open
when you have,
dialogue.
yeah, I think when you have physical experiences, I find they're they're a lot more helpful than if it's just all spiritual. Because when it's all spiritual, maybe that's your parasites having a little delusion inside you, and they're listening to the wrong archons. Like, you
That's
have to be aware of that kind of stuff.
guilty.
I'm the same.
Guilty. I'm guilty of it. I'm totally guilty of I understand now. I get it. Like I'm not able to articulate it at this point in time, but I know I will in time.
Mhm.
As I know you guys know me well enough to know that give me a minute and I'll probably next week I'll be able to articulate this so well. But yeah, this
Mhm.
definitely was an experience that yeah, I need to soak it in a little bit more. Like I said, it just happened yesterday. So
I'll say one spiritual thing that I see every year, and I went through it too, and now I kind of understand where it came from. So back in 2020, 21, I was going through stuff. I kept hearing this 144, like, you're 144, you're part, and it was just this one, and it made me obsess about it, and just went on and on and on. And I wanted to
I remember
understand.
that. I
I
remember the
think that
144.
that is some kind of parasite connected to some kind of archon, because I keep seeing it. And just last week, I saw some guy write on some kind of Instagram video, and he's like, I am one of the 444, and I'm here to bring anyone else who hears that they are part of the 144 and bring us together. And God told me, and then I wrote on it. I'm like, God didn't tell me about you. Like, go away with your 144. You're just speaking on, like, you're hearing things. I went through this delusion, and it's a very bad. It's gets you nowhere. The 144, nobody knows. And if you listen to someone tell you this is what it is, you're listening to something that's not real. That is not God. Like, just drop it, keep going in your life, keep
It's just
being.
another buy-in.
It
It's
is.
just another
It
buy-in.
doesn't.
It's another parasite, another buy-in, another way to give up your power, another way for them to get your soul.
Yeah,
That's what this is
exactly.
all about. We're in
Yep.
a war. We're in a game. We're in a game of war. We're in the game of throne of wars. Da 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 da.
It's true. And it's just more
Yep.
different archons connected to different parasites, and
Yep.
they're just being triggered inside your body. So,
Yep.
but people really do hear them. They really think that that's God speak, because I feel it so strongly. It's like, this is why I say, when it's all spiritual, you got to start you got to start questioning what you're hearing. Who am I hearing it from? Just because I'm hearing it, is it God? Like, this whole, like, God spoke to me, that was God. Like, how do you know that was God? And how do you know that what I heard wasn't God? Like, who's God? Like, stop listening to, like, people, oh, it's God speaking. And listen to yourself. And when you hear them too, question what you're hearing. And this is why I say doing physical things and going through physical things, I think, helps, because it helps clean the body out. You start to understand, as you clean the body out, you hear things a bit more properly. And you realize you don't just keep hearing these crazy things. You start hearing truth, and you start feeling truth, and you start going, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm hearing something, and yeah, that's a parasite connected to some archon. Like, I don't know. But you know, you know what I mean? Like, when you just
I
do all
do.
spiritual, I think it's a little bit dangerous. Like, unless you have some really great guru, but they're all in the cave.
No, not even that.
Even then,
No,
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 I
no,
don't
don't do
know.
it.
But spiritual people, when people get into the spiritual path, they always want to go find someone, or have that one thing, and they think that's going to change their life and be the answer. I just don't think that is really you know that's the answer. You kind of
This
have
is
to trust yourself.
the thing with the human being, okay? The humans want a savior,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of buy-ins. They've sold us a lot of buy-ins, and it's your choice if you want to buy in that particular scenario as your savior. And they're trying to, and we got saviors all the time. Right now, I've got to say, Cheeto Jesus and Elon Musk is the savior right now. They are the ones who are being that are being sold to us. They are
Hmm.
that, they are. I cannot believe how much those two are on TV. I was just completely shocked yesterday. I was home yesterday. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home all day, and the TV was on, and I stay with my mother. I help my mother, and she loves Trump. She loves Elon Musk. She thinks that they're going to save this planet. She totally
No.
has bought in. She has totally bought in. I'm not kidding you guys. This is the real. This is real stuff, Anne. Okay. Elon Musk was on the stage, and he's going on and on and on about energy and all this stuff that he can do and about business and stuff. People were lining up to get to a microphone to talk to him. It was a Q&A where they can get on a live microphone, and he's on the stage, and this is all live supposedly. And people were saying, I just want to pray for you. I want to pray for you and your family, Elon. We love you. You are an amazing human. We don't deserve you.
What the hell? What?
And
I
this
don't
room
watch
was,
any of this type of stuff. That's
and it just kept, each
insane.
person who went up there was just kissing his ass. And I was just blown away. I'm like, what the hell? And so these people are buying the buy-in, because these are people, they're Christians, of course, because they want to pray for him or whatever. Um, and they're praying for him out loud, for his family, and for his success to, take over the world. And yeah, they were, yep, they were fully in the buy-in. They've taken that buy-in. They're now using him as a savior.
Just crazy.
And this is what I witnessed yesterday. And I was just like, holy moly. I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's not going to save the world. He's going to lead. These two are going to lead us into a very dark place at some point. Like it's just part of the script where we end up for a bit, and they're definitely not the saviors. I'm interested to see who he is,
They're
and
just pawns. To me, they're just pawns in the game. They are
I think
being
they're
used.
distractions. I
Mm,
think they're trying to make it look and make people think that we're at the part of the script of the false prophet and the antichrist. And they're thinking that Elon Musk is a false prophet and Trump is the antichrist or something. That's how I feel that they're playing this script with them too. Maybe, like, because we have the false prophet and we have the antichrist that we're spoken about, that we're supposed to see in human form come onto our TVs and stuff. So maybe that's what they're trying to make them to look like, but they're not the false prophet and the antichrist. They're not at that degree to be those two characters. But maybe they're trying to like lead people down a path to think we're somewhere that we're not in scripture. I don't know. I don't understand the whole script of Trump and Elon. Like, I do think Elon is the script of taking us to a place of AI that is going to be the antichrist script. you know I don't follow or watch him that much. I see little bits of him here and there, and I
he's
guess
all
people
over America. He's everywhere in
really,
America.
and
He
he
is
does.
you. I can't, if I go, if as soon as I turn off this stream, I guarantee you a Elon video or the Elon article will be right there. It's front and center. No matter what you turn on, your TV, your computer, your phone, anything, Elon Musk is right there in front of your face. Here in America, doing something to save the world.
He
Now,
pushes the chip. He pushes the chip that inserts into the body, and he is very open about it, and he speaks very highly of it and how wonderful it is. So to me, and anyone that has that agenda and is pushing that to the world, that is instantly antichrist material, because the whole AI thing is technically it's antichrist, because antichrist is anything that is anti-creation. AI is anti-creation. What is creation? Man, male, female, that can procreate. AI cannot procreate like a human, male and female. So that is what antichrist means. AI is antichrist because it's cannot procreate. So that's, and he is AI. So in that regard, that's who Elon Musk is to me. Is that whole agenda and that whole storyline. But I don't know. We'll have to see what comes out of America. Like even Trump, I don't understand what's Trump. Like who is he? He's not the Antichrist. Like he's too old to be the Antichrist.
yeah, I think they're trying to make him the, but I guess what you call the, to sit at the 13th seat of the Illuminati. The Pindar is what I like to, was what I've been told it is, it's called, but it's not going to happen for one. It's not to me, that's not the real Trump. Sorry, I know I sound crazy. I sound stupid. Call me whatever I want or whatever you want. And no, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's facts. That man, you're looking at a body double at this point.
Yeah, for sure,
And
for
I
sure.
do believe that we need to be very careful with this disclosure that's about to happen, you guys. I mean, this is the year of disclosure. I think we're seeing that. I kind of think people can agree with me on that one. It's the year of disclosure for sure. It's a year of nine, year of completion.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, the year of nine, I guess if you take, um, how do you add it up? It's 2025 and you add up 2025, you add up all those numbers and it comes to nine.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Something.
that
I'm
how
not
they
good with
do it?
that
Is it like that? Let me see. Let me do that real quick and
I'm not
see.
good with that with
Exactly.
numbers.
You take the 2025, add 2 plus 2 is 4, plus add the 5 adds up to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I know in numerology, 9 is completion. So that makes sense because you go 9, then you go into 10. So it is the year of mass disclosure, and I think we need to be very careful what gets leaked out there. I think there's going to be some very bad disclosure. Bad information is going to be leaked
Mm-hmm.
out. So I think it's up to us to go inside and really do your discernment. Really go inside deep down and figure out for yourself what resonates and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why
Um,
cleansing the body is very, very crucial. I do
right.
think it's very crucial because all your organs and stuff, and when they're running smoother and they got the right, everything works better. Your mind works better. You have more control of your own mind. You don't want a parasite controlling your mind, and they do. They control it through what you eat. They control it through your vibration, like apparently you can listen to certain frequency that kills the parasites because they're vibrational things. So you want to
They
be
don't like, go ahead.
in, in kundalini, in the Sanskrit writings, the things that they it's part of achieving your kundalini is to have top gear. That's why they don't eat anything, because it's like then everything's just running just per your own, what's already in there. So you want to clean out your vessel as much as possible, because when you do, you're going to have your thought process, understand when you hear all these things, you go into these deep places, parasites definitely give you fear inside your belly and making you feel so like anxiety and stuff. And so I do think that that is very essential for any spiritual awakening. Clean out the body as you're going down your spiritual path and journey. Don't just sit in meditation and in your deep dark place. Go
Yeah,
chanting. Go
I
and
guess.
clean your body out.
Yeah, clean the body, get on a good diet, get on a good regimen.
Stop
Now
drinking
that's where this all
alcohol.
get off the alcohol, get off the pharmaceuticals, get off the drugs, get off of all of it because that's how they trapped us. That's how they trapped us. That's how they steal our loosh. Everything that was part of the game. That was part of the war, whatever you want to call it, a game, a war, whatever. I think war is a game. So they're kind of the same thing in my books.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think
now
so.
this whole thing started with me playing my sound bowls, you guys. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I went in deep. I love to play my sound bowls. I have a Rav pan. It's this pan that you hit. It's beautiful. It just sounds divine. And I went into a session and I wanted to raise my vibration. I was a little pissy that day. I forgot what happened. I don't know, but I was feeling a little pissy. And I went ahead and I started playing the sound bowls, and they always bring me back to center. They always fill my cup. And that after that session is when I got up and I said, "Oh, I need to fast." That's where it started, and that's what started it. And I do believe that my parasites do not like me playing my sound bowl at all. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't like that vibration.
Angry.
It's clean. It's clean, it's high vibrating, it's just a beautiful sound. It's a sound you don't hear every day because I understand that I am surrounded by ugly, dirty energies all around me all day long.
The average person is not aware of this kind of stuff, Claudine. Like, and that's why the average person is starting to feel these kind of like something doesn't feel right. Oh, I keep feeling like this, and I think the 5G towers, like all their vibrations are vibrating all your parasites that have been sitting in there for years and years and years and years and years, and just feasting away and getting bigger and bigger and bigger nest in there, and all of a sudden there's this 5G stuff and it's going and it's making all your parasites go, whoa, wait. You start to feel sick now. The aliens
Yeah.
in the ocean are triggering them through the 5G.
Oh
Your
yeah, and then didn't we had a new moon with a partial solar eclipse or something?
mm-hmm.
I wrote it down here somewhere.
Yeah, on the
I that
29th.
on the 29th it was a partial solar eclipse, and then we
Mm-hmm.
had a new moon on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
What day was that? Was that yesterday?
Yeah, it was the same. Yep.
Oh my Lord.
Oh
See,
no,
all of
uh,
the
the day before. So today's the first. So 2 days ago. So
so
right
no,
after the
today is the
earthquake.
20. Okay, for
Today's
you, well, you're a day ahead
today's
of
the.
us.
Oh yeah, you would be the 31st right now.
So the 30, so this was all Saturday. So this all makes sense. I mean, all these energies with the new moon. Oh gosh, see, it just makes more sense and more
That makes
sense.
sense that it's extracting itself in new moon. Yeah. See,
Yep,
because that's
yep,
when they move in cycles. So, in
yeah.
full moon, we feel shittier and emotional and stuff. But they say that's when all your parasites are traveling through your body to go into your gut to lay their eggs. So,
Yep.
when they start moving and stuff, it's going to create different, feelings and stuff inside you. We are very
Hmm.
controlled by these things.
Very controlled.
We're
Very
very controlled.
controlled.
Yeah, because
Trust me,
people.
I know.
I work in a restaurant, so like when I work in full moons and stuff, I watch people go like cuckoo, and sometimes I'll like women just start crying and start telling me like then they'll be like, I don't know why I'm like this, and it's like, well, it is a full moon, so it's okay. But yeah, and then when I learned about the parasites, it's like, oh, that's why it happens in people. and they become like so different, and all these their darker side seems to come to surface during these full moons and stuff. But their parasites are moving, their parasites are all active and traveling to so it all
It does. It makes sense. I didn't put that. It's so funny. Even as I was writing it down on this paper, I wrote down that there was a new moon and a partial solar eclipse on the 29th. And I didn't even click to right now till I said it out loud. I'm like, oh shoot, that was just like that was just like the other day, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't pay attention to that stuff too much anymore because I'm not gonna put my energy into this. I know what the moon is. I get it. I know what the darkness does on a full moon and on a new moon and on a celestial, on any celestial. They do some pretty crazy things, you guys. So I just ignore it because I'm not giving them any energy. I used to go out there and do ceremonies and repel it and do all this crazy stuff. Nope, not doing that anymore. Not giving it any of my energy because it's a buy-in, you guys. I'm going to say that. I'm going to keep saying that word because they're trying to sell you something and you buy into that savior.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing that anymore. That's not
Mm-hmm.
spiritual. That's not my spirituality. That's not my practice no more. Modern
No.
day spirituality, go at it. Do your thing. But you know what? You're not
You're going
really
to end up
practicing.
back at square one. You're
Mhm.
going to go down all these rabbit holes and all these different places and paths, and you're always going to end up back at square one.
Square one.
I'm
Exactly.
one. You might have all these realizations put into your bag of, oh, there's it, but you will always end up back. You are still just a human being, and we are here, and we have all these things going on around us. Unless we run away into the hills and hide away from humanity for the rest of our lives, we're still just back here as a human and have all these things we got to deal with. And nothing is going to save you other than yourself, and finding the peace within yourself. And how you
Yeah.
find that peace is, you know, everyone has
Detoxing.
I
Detoxing the
think so.
vessel, being true
True
to
healing.
yourself, being true to yourself, loving yourself, and not giving up your power. Do not give your power up to nothing, to nobody. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You are almighty powerful for real. You are. You guys are the ones who you've been waiting for. You, not anyone else, and you will save yourself. And it all has to do with cleaning the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, Victor made a comment here, and I wanted to elaborate on it really quick. Let me see if I can find it. He said something about he craves peanut butter. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I crave peanut butter even though it doesn't have much sugar. Victor, peanuts, they have something to do with the parasite. Peanuts feed the parasite. It keeps them hosted in your body with the
That's because
biofilm.
peanuts make your body damp. Same as bananas, they make your lymphatic system damp. And when
Yeah,
the
they'll make it
lymphatic
damp.
system is damp,
Hmm.
parasites will. It's like mold.
They can
Parasites.
grow their biofilm. Okay, the biofilm is what they live off of. That's why you can't kill them. And then the biofilm turns into plaque, and that's where you get the plaque on the third eye, and in the brain, Alzheimer's, in the heart, in your arteries. So I was kind of thinking, I was wondering whatever that parasite came out of when if that other thing that was it because it swam out of that other like lump of green stuff. I'm kind of wondering if that wasn't biofilm. It's home, it's
Possibly.
host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've got the parasite and then you've got the host. The host is the biofilm. You've got to break through the biofilm. You break through the
Mm-hmm.
biofilm, boom, you will give birth to every last bit of it. It's like really giving birth. When you give birth to a baby, the baby
Mm-hmm.
comes out and then the
All the
afterbirth comes
immune
out.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
The afterbirth comes out that the baby lives in. So it biofilm.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing when it comes to a parasite.
Mhm.
That's how I look. Because I gave birth 5 times, and having these parasites come out of me, it's a lot like giving birth to a child in a way.
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
necessarily. It's not
From your
something that,
bowels.
yeah.
Mhm.
Except for this one was artificially inseminated.
No, it's true, but when you go to the toilet, it's a different feeling. Like this morning, I went like 3 times, and the last time, like I'd already gone that much. I'm like, I don't need to go again, but I could feel like a pain, and I just had to massage in like deep while I sat on the toilet, just massaged it like for ages. And finally, like whatever it was that was giving me pain, it came out. It's like, that's not poop. That's like crap. That's like parasite crap.
Yeah. Yes.
Because
Yes.
I always
Hmm.
see it because I eat a lot of papaya seeds. And when it's like all connected to I see it come out and I see all these papaya seeds and it's always got like a slime to it. And it's like, oh, that's some kind of parasite. Nest that
Yes.
just came out there.
And before you give birth to anything, before anything happens, well, with me, a lot of sludge came out of me. Oh, shoot, we lost Anne. She just got wiped out. All right, we'll wait for her to come back. Hold on, let me see if she's on there she is. Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Can you hear us? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
It's when it calls my phone, it just has, I need to get here. But what were you talking? You were talking when they leave your body.
Hold on. Yeah, when they leave the body, when the first thing that leaves the body, though, I felt my whole journey started. First thing that came out was the gallstones, then the kidney stones, then the biosludge, and I thought the biosludge was the parasites. But then after a while, I look at it and it had ripples in it. And I was like, huh. And then I looked into the stomach channels. I started doing some research and, looking at what what your stomach looks like your, when they take out your small intestine or your large intestine, what it looks like. I started looking at like what those look like when they
Mm-hmm.
take out of people when they're damaged and they're
Has
rippled.
ripples so coming out from
So
there. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yep. So I was like, oh, okay. So that is just the
Mm-hmm.
biosludge, and that's probably from eating meat because I wasn't meat. I used to love red
Mm-hmm.
meat, so I got that out. That probably took about a year. Then that started coming out. The kidney stones came out. The gallstones came out. That was a trip. I was out camping each time that happened. Um, and then the biosludge, and then the parasites, then the candida. I started going to get myself a colon flush. Then I really started working on the candida. Then I got a lot of that out. I still battle that, you guys. Candida is going to take a while. That is nothing that stops coming out anytime soon, but I do have a good grip on it. That's for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, but I will now be able to get rid of the candida because I will no longer eat anything that has starch in it or that has yeast in it unless it's natural
Mm-hmm.
yeast. And I'm learning that right now, so I don't know what that is yet. But what I have done, what I've done the research on, there is this doctor called Dr. Berg that I really love watching his videos, and he is really good on this stuff. And he talks about foods and what each food does for the body and what parasite it could feed. So I'm going to just start really listening to see what he has to say. So there are some stuff that I'm going to be able to have some yeast. So that's okay. I believe that it's going to be okay for me to go ahead and have a potato.
Mm-hmm.
I grow my own
Mm.
potatoes. So,
They'd have to
yeah,
be
so
okay to
no one's going
grow
to tell me,
themselves.
yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna start growing my own potatoes soon. I just gotta wait for them to get nubs. I've got them growing right now. And soon as my potatoes get nubs on them, and you can do this too,
Mm-hmm.
Anne. You get a laundry
Mm-hmm.
basket. Okay, you know the ones with the holes
Mm-hmm.
in it, the laundry, the plastic
Mm-hmm.
flimsy ones with the holes, and you get a high one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like an 8 gallon one. All right, at least, yeah, anything bigger, big one. And you're gonna put on the bottom, you put some hay on the bottom. Then
Mm-hmm.
on the top, you put some
Mm-hmm.
soil, and then you get your potatoes with the nubs. Okay, they get a little bit of nubs on them, and then you put those on the soil. Then you put the hay,
Mm-hmm.
then you put the soil, then you put the potatoes with the nubs
Oh
again,
yeah.
and then you keep doing that till you get to the
Mm-hmm.
top. And probably about 6 or 7 to 8 weeks, you'll be able to go into that basket and pull out all your potatoes,
Really?
and you'll have
That's
potatoes.
amazing.
Yeah, I have pictures of my potatoes. Yeah, I have potatoes that I grew. I'm getting ready to do it right now, but I'm waiting for my potatoes to get nubs on. But the potatoes have to have the nubs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And you cut them in four, and then you want to lay the nubs where the nubs are above on the white part of the potatoes on the soil,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to do
That's
this right
awesome.
out. Yeah, you'll be able to do this right on your porch.
Mm.
So I think that those potatoes will be safe for me to eat.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
so.
But
If
not
you,
every day. Not every
yeah.
day. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have a potato every day. At least I should be able to have a potato at least once a week.
Mm-hmm. I think if you're growing your own potatoes and you know how they're growing, they should be safe. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor, but yeah, I would
it's good
imagine.
energy. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it's natural too. Like these things were created for us to naturally partake in.
But yeah, I have pictures of my potatoes that I grew. And this is another weird thing when I grew my potatoes, you guys. I thought this was so weird. So we had a potato and it was growing in the refrigerator. And so we all decided, oh, this is when I was with Yogi Josh, and he's like, let's put it in the ground. So we put it in the ground, and we went back. I want to say it was 6 weeks later, but it may have been 8 weeks later. Went back, we picked up, we unburied the potato, and there was a bunch of potatoes there. And the one that we buried was a russet brown potato, and what we
Mhm.
pulled out was like 3 red potatoes, 2 yellow potatoes, and 3 brown potatoes. I thought that was so weird. Where the hell
That,
did the red and white yellow potatoes come from?
that is weird. What?
I have a picture of it. I swear, you guys, I have a picture of it. We were just all looking at it going, okay, whatever. That's
That's
some
really strange.
crossbreeding. I know. It was so strange.
That is very strange. I don't have the answers to that one. That's a bit weird.
That's
Random
funny.
potatoes showing up.
I know. I know. I'm not that. I mean, I'm a pretty good grower, but I have no idea what that was all about. Gosh, where's that picture? I was just That was the year when I grew my own watermelons. Remember those watermelons that I grew?
Hmm. Hmm. I won't eat watermelons from the shops anymore. I'll eat them from like fruit shops, like good fruit shops. But you cannot eat them from the supermarkets anymore. They are horrific. I saw in America it was happening first, and when I saw it in America happening, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a matter of time before it hits our shelves in the supermarkets. But the watermelons and the bananas, you just do not want to buy it from them. The watermelons, they get real like rubbery, and oh, the consistency of when you bite into it, you know how it has that crunch? It's like a rubber crunch, and they taste horrific. And I hate how they don't naturally just crack. They bend. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst thing. It's the worst consistent because it's all GMO. Like the whole GMO seed thing that happened years and years and years ago that a lot of people didn't want because they're like the fruits and vegetables are going to be not come out the same. Now we're seeing how that GMO has really affected our fruits and veggies. But you really get it in the watermelons and in the bananas. They don't pop, they don't crack like how a normal banana. They bend and they like. Sometimes you can full like go like that to the banana and bend it like with the peel off, and it won't break. You can just full bend the banana and it's still stuck together, and
Oh my,
they taste like rubber. Like my boyfriend does, he won't eat a banana from the supermarket or what, and he's not like a health freak or anything. He just cannot stand the taste and the consistency to them. But you can tell it's like full GMO fruit. It's horrible. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we as humans are like have to put up with this stuff. Like our fruit is not even organic and nice anymore. It's like
it's so
rubber.
sad. It's so sad
It's
because
terrible.
I I've been on this planet for quite some time, and I remember what a fresh strawberry and a fresh watermelon really looks like and what it tastes like.
Same.
Um, and you can't get that. I haven't tasted anything like that or an orange until I've grown my own. When I
Hmm.
grow my own, they're pretty damn close.
Hmm.
Um, but I have to deal with a lot of weather issues here because it's so hot in Arizona. But I'm getting ready to do strawberries right now. I'm going to do hanging strawberries where they hang and then I'm going to grow them.
Hmm.
So we'll see how
Yummy.
those turn out.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
I have a client who she grows her own strawberries and she came in for a consultation and we sat there and ate strawberries the whole time during the consultation. I was like, oh my God, this is like the greatest gift
Oh
ever.
my God, it's so good. I love fruit. Like in Thailand, we have so much fruit and so much tropical fruit, like mangosteens, and mangosteens are the best. But they have like mangosteens, rambutans, um, mangoes, like tropical mangoes. They're so juicy and sweet. And like I used to sometimes come home from work and just go buy like a kilo of rambutans and a kilo of mangosteen, go home and just like sit in my aircon room and just eat the whole kilo at once. So like I love fruit. The worst thing I found coming to this to like a white country is the fruit is kind of like, to me, what I find boring. Like it's very, you have your winter fruit, which is apples, or I never really liked that kind of fruit. And then in summertime you do get watermelons and heaps more tropical stuff, but nothing like Thailand. But now the fruit's not even exciting to buy from the shop. Like you have to go to fruit shops. You can, I don't know how people can buy the fruits at the supermarkets and be happy with it. Like I just refuse to buy them because they're still really expensive, but they're all GMO grown and they taste just horrific. Like I think good fruit in white countries, especially now with GMO, is pretty much non-existent. You can still go to Asian countries and get nice, real, proper fruit that's like grown, close to how it used to be years ago. But in white countries, like I would say America, Australia, like the GMO has just taken over, and we can no longer get get just nice nash fruit. It's all tan with all GMO. It's not the same. I feel sorry for the children that have to eat that. That's
I know.
like no wonder why they don't want to eat their fruits and
Here they
veggies
are.
because they
I
taste.
found a picture, you guys. I got that. Here we go.
Oh, yummy! What's
Those
that?
are the potatoes. See the red?
Oh my God, they're so.
And
You
then
can tell when they're like
and they were yellow. They're yellow. They're
natural.
yellow. But we put a brown russet potato down, and that's what we got. Let me see.
You could see it
It's
better
so
before.
funny. Oh, there we go. There we go. You can see them better there.
My goodness.
Potatoes are really easy to grow, you guys. I'm serious. That's my story on the on that was, oh my gosh, that was such a good garden that year, you guys. That was such a good one. I think I got like look at my lavender.
Oh my God, that's so purple. That looks so beautiful.
that was a beautiful
That looks so
my
lush.
hibiscus.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness, it's beautiful.
beautiful. I had such oh,
I love
where's my
gardens.
hibiscus? I know.
I
I know,
want to own
I'm always
I want to own a house that has a yard, a garden, a place where I can like have garden beds and just have a wild, overgrown herb garden. I love that stuff. I love like you're cooking and you want to like add herbs and you just go out to your garden and cut the herbs all like fresh. Oh my God, that's like to me that's heaven. Having big herb gardens and papaya trees where I can pick the papayas and make papaya salad and fresh lemons. Like that would be paradise on earth for me.
yeah. Here
Like
was
that.
my onions that I foraged yesterday out of my garden.
Mm-hmm. It looks so beautiful.
They taste so good, you guys. And I don't have a very large space. I end up going and moving in with my mom to help her out. She's I have an aging parent, and she needed my help, and I moved into her condo, and I we don't have much space, but I built a planter. I had a planter built,
Mm,
and I garden out of a planter right there. I make it work. Is it as lush as what I would like? No, but it's there. It's
something.
beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting
Mm.
something. And then I went outside, and here's my lettuce, my onions, and my broccoli.
Yummy. Yum, yum, yum. I love that kind of stuff.
I make my own soil.
Mm, that looks good.
I make my own soil because I take all my scraps, and then I put them in my soil maker. And then here is everything that I just planted on on another garden that I have on the outside. I do
They look
potted
so green.
gardens too. Huh?
They look so
I
green.
know.
Everything looks so green.
It is. And then I do potted gardens, which with my potted garden is perennials, okay? And here's my potted garden, you guys. And that's where I put all my perennials. So you can have all the excuses in the world, and I just don't buy them. I don't, because no matter where I'm at, as long as Anne has known me, I'm growing something.
I
I
know.
see
I really do.
I got plants surrounding me right now. I'm a grower. I counted my plants. I think I told Anne I have 60 plants in my store. I lied. I've got like 85.
I love plants. I love
I
plants.
know.
I had a
Me
herb
too.
garden, but my cats just destroy it. They just go and pee in all of it. Even like I have a plant here, just a normal plant. Um, you can't eat it, like just a pretty one. And I've had to like put cheesecloth around the pot and tie it to the plant so the cats can't go into the soil and dig it all up and it looks like it's wounded or something. It's all wrapped in a cheesecloth because they just go into everything.
I had the same issues. One of the cats knocked over my onion planter that I had all the onions, but I already pulled them, so they knocked that down. I figured it out. I give them food. I put food up for the stray cats. I put food up on the ledge for them, and they eat that, and they stay out of my garden. And then I took all the pottery that they peed in. I put it out in the it's kind of weird where the way that the condo is. There's like this big rock, it's a bunch of rocks, and there's a wall. It'd be a great running area for dogs. They could do a run area right there from. But anyways, and I made this big pile with all the dirt, and they just go and pee and poop in there now.
Because that's all they're doing. They're looking for like soil to pee and poop in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So feeding them and giving them their own area by the
Hmm.
garden. It's not too far
Hmm.
from the garden. It's
Hmm.
about 9 yards away, and they
Hmm.
play in there. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
so yeah,
That
maybe if you
makes
get your cats a sandbox, they'll stay out of your plants.
sense.
I don't know.
They're just naughty. And when one does it, the other one wants to do it. And they just have this competition who can mess it up the most and pee the most in it.
That's so funny. And I don't have that because my cat, she doesn't I trained her. I got her, she was 8 weeks old. She does not mess with my plants. She doesn't
Really.
she
Good
doesn't
girl.
even pay attention. No, she doesn't pay attention to him at all. She doesn't.
Mm,
I trained her very
You're
well.
well trained. That's good. Mine are
Oh my
just,
gosh. Nowadays strawberries have maggots.
uh,
Oh, I've seen those videos. Strawberries are hard to grow though. We'll see how I do. Like I said, I'm gonna get me some hanging strawberries this week. I'm gonna see if I can grow them. I've never grown strawberries before, so we'll see how it goes.
I always thought they're good for cold climates because we get them in wintertime.
No, nope. Well, no, they're great in California. Strawberries originally the capital of strawberries is California.
Really?
I grew up in strawberry fields. When I was a little kid, I would go picking strawberries, and that's how I would make money. I
Mm.
grew up with strawberry fields and orange fields all over around my area.
No,
But now
oranges.
they're gone. But they're gone now. You go back to my hometown now, you won't see one strawberry and a field or one orange orchard anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really
I
sad.
always
But
thought they were cold. Because in Thailand we don't get strawberries because they're tropical, whereas over here we get them, but they're all in wintertime. But the ones in the supermarket, they're just crap. Anything from the supermarket, just fruit is crap from the supermarket. Like I cannot bring myself to eat their fruit anymore from from all the major chain supermarkets. They have completely messed with our fruits through GMO.
yeah, it's not the same. It's just best to go to the farmer's market or grow what you can.
Mhm.
And we just have to do without it. Just got to boycott it because they messed up everything.
Mm.
But so you said you wanted to talk about the earthquakes. So did you want to say anything about the
Well,
earthquakes before we
did
go? Because we have about 25 minutes left and then we're
well,
done
did
with
you
the
see the
show.
earthquakes?
I
Yeah,
did. I saw
it
what
was
you
a big
sent me.
earthquake. Hey,
And there's nothing here in America about it that you don't see
really?
anything on the news. There's nothing on the news. Not that I've seen.
So I'm so surprised how little attention such a it's the same over here. Like I ask people and they're like, "Oh, not really." And it's like, "Wow, it's such a major and the thing is with the earthquakes is cuz I follow all like that's what I'm like a geek about is I watch the pole shift. I like to watch. So with the pole shift we have degrees that earth is moving like on our compass on in our equator we're moving and we once we hit certain degrees on our like on this chart. So once we hit 40, our earthquakes were gonna start to increase, and I watched that happen. And when we hit 41 degrees, they're gonna get strong. And every degree we move, our earthquakes are gonna increase. Our volcano activity is going to increase. And I started watching this back in 2020, 2021, because my whole thing with spirituality, like when COVID, it was so much fear. It was so, you know, everything became a spiritual thing all of a sudden. Even the American government, it was like it had a spiritual um element to it that's being, you know, the QAnon still is like there's an element of spirituality to it and everything. So I'm like, for me, when I start to have a very spiritual thing come at me, I always want if something spiritual is coming at me saying this is the answer, this is what I want to have. Well, what's the end of it? What's it going to lead to? And with everything, it led to there's going to be a pole shift. That is how when it comes to how are people going to wake up, how are we going to get to this level of awakening in the whole world on this mass scale. And it's like there's going to be something that's a pole shift that people will start to like experience and see, and that's through earthquakes and volcano. And it's like when I heard that, for me it was like, okay, that makes sense, because everything else is a fad. Everything else is like, you'll get Trump, Elon Musk, you'll get so far, and then you'll see, oh, there's really nothing to. Whoa, they're not really going to help us. There's this. Whereas with Mother Earth going through changes and shifts and a pole shift, to me that's an answer. To me that's a good outcome, because it's like you can't deny Mother Earth. When Mother Earth comes and she sings and she wants to stretch and move around, and our plates are shifting, and whole parts of different countries are going to fall into the ocean, and or like there's going to be major changes in Mother. To me that's an answer to changes of how the world is going to change, because Mother Earth, what she gives us is so like unpredictable. So with a pole shift, because humanity has not, our human race right now has not been through a pole shift. The fact that we have a pole shift sitting at our doorstep, to watch how it's going to unfold, to me is like, whoa, this is cool. So I watch the degrees of us shifting in our, in our equator and stuff. And as we're shifting in these degrees, we keep climbing these degrees, the earthquakes are increasing, and they are consistently increasing. So they've gone from like 5.6s, 5.7s. And then after a couple years, like 22, 23, I started watching them go into the six ranges, 6 point this, 6 point that. And it was becoming consistent. And 2025 has not failed. So what happened is we went so far, and we actually went backwards, and we sat backwards for a little. So all last year we kind of just sat at this. We went forward, and then we just kind of went backwards, and then we sat there. We have just recently gone forward again, and now we're starting to move properly again, how the pole shift was moving 2, 3, 4 years ago. For a year or so we kind of like, and I felt it like everyone kind of just went back to their old selves, stayed in this kind of energy. It's like, oh, nothing's really changing. But now 2025, we've moved and we've jumped again, and we're continuing. Now the movement's starting to move properly, like how it was supposed to. And our earthquakes are now jumping to close to the eights. And Burma, and that earthquake, to me, that was like, that's the pole shift. That's it beginning. Like, that's an earthquake that's happened, but that's not the biggest one we've seen yet. Like, we're gonna start experiencing 8 points and getting up to 9 points. Like, and when those hit us, we're gonna see some big changes in Mother Earth. And this is just a precursor of what's coming. Like, yeah. So
And
to not have any attention on it, to me is a little bit like, what?
well, it's an agenda. There's a reason. Now I grew up in earthquakes. Earthquake land. I'm from California. I don't care how many earthquakes you've gone through. They are scary. They're so scary.
Oh
I lived
yes.
through I lived through many of them. I lived through enough of them to where the earthquake was so I think the hardest earthquake I ever was with was a 7.0. You never think it's going to end. And then the aftershocks were just as big, and that was really scary. I thought I was going to die in 1988. We were having mass earthquakes. I really thought we were going to fall in the ocean at that time. Now,
Well, they will, but not yet.
not yet.
It's
But
coming.
there's this lady called Mary Greenlee News, and she's on YouTube, and I love following her. She reports everything that has to do with volcanoes, tsunamis, earthquakes. So, anyways, she says, okay, so we had an earthquake in Tonga. Did you hear about that one? I heard
Yes,
about that one
yes. That's what I
one day
mean.
ago.
Yep.
Yes, we had it seven. It was a 7 point something. I'm not quite sure.
They had
But they,
two.
huh?
They had two.
They had two.
Yeah,
Wow.
they had two
And
right next
Tonga
to each
is
other.
so beautiful. Oh my gosh, with the white beaches. Thailand's beautiful too. And
Mhm.
then we had, they said dozens were killed, hundreds missing, fire and collapses everywhere. And then there was two earthquakes that struck in, ooh, I don't know if I can say this right. Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. something like that. We've had a
Kazakhstan, yeah.
lot. We have had a lot, Claudine, in the last 2 weeks. This is what I mean. I watched all of our. I have people send me earthquakes, like, because everyone that is close to me knows that this is like the thing that I'm like, I watch and I'll keep a track of. So I have people send me earthquakes. So I see all the earthquakes and I always look at the numbers of what they're coming in as. And so the last 2 weeks we had them in New Zealand, off the shore in New Zealand, and that was like a 6.7 or something. And they had a possible tsunami alert, but then that got taken away. And that happened. 2 days later, the one in Burma happened, and that was an earthquake. So that happened not in the ocean, not on shorelines. That happened on Earth. So it came from deep, deep, deep within our Earth, and that tells me that is some full-on plates moving in our deep inside our underneath our Mother Earth. That happened, and then a day later, the Tonga one happened. And then actually, right after the Burmese one, somewhere in the South Pacific, there was another big, massive, like 7 point something one, but it was in the ocean. So when those happen, they're more of tsunami alert type of situations. But when they're on Mother Earth, look what happened. Burma, like it's very hard to get truth out of Burma because they're under military regime. So news people can't get in there. Like, news people can't just go into the country. The news that we get from the country is very controlled. So like, they're saying, some people are saying the death toll's up to 10,000, but the news is reporting that it's like at 2,000. But that's still a lot, and places are demolished. Like, some of the footage that has come out, it's been flattened. Like, huge buildings came down. It's been destroyed a lot, but we're not getting full details because it's Burma. But Thailand, like, I'm from Thailand. I come from Bangkok. We don't have earthquakes there. I grew up living there always because we have huge skyscrapers, and like, the opulence of buildings over there is one of the most craziest countries to go and see all these big buildings. And that is because we all um, Thailand didn't get earthquakes. We're not like Japan, who gets earthquakes all the time. So they build all these things because it's like, oh well, we don't get earthquakes here. And I grew up always having that. Oh, we don't get earthquakes in Thailand. So for Thailand to experience that, that's a huge, like, that's different. It's not like California, like, oh, we always get
Right.
earthquakes. That's
Where
a
it's
big.
expected. Yeah. Like you said, like
It
it's
looked
expected.
Yeah, it looked apocalyptic. Like, the way the Thai people reacted to this earthquake was like apocalyptic. If you saw the streets that day,
Oh,
it was like people were running. Like, the streets were filled. It got under a state of emergency.
where do
Like,
you
it
run?
was.
When I saw all those people run into the streets the way that they did, where are they going to run to? It's an earthquake, and there's no,
No, but they're running out of the buildings because the buildings were
well, of
swinging.
course.
It still had a lot of destruction over in Bangkok. Like, some of those buildings are like, cracks, all, things like, it still had a lot of devastation. Not like Burma, but for an earthquake to hit one place and you feel it all the way in a different country, it had a very big impact. One of the buildings full fell down, like, just proper bang out of out of construction, and it was a big, tall building. So it was a big earthquake, and there's more coming. Like, the fact that we had so many in a row, even though they didn't cause destruction, the fact that they are at this level of, like, the high sixes, the high sevens, like, and they're consistently coming, that's when I know, okay, we're shifting. We have moved. We continue to move into these degrees. And as we continue to move into these different degrees in our where we sit, the in our equator and stuff, in our pole shift, and the earthquakes are consistently increasing in the numbers, and the how strong they are, it's telling me, yeah, what I was told, what I saw with this pole, and how it's going to go down. This is where it's going. This is where it's going to continue. So, you know, get prepared. earthquakes will continue to rise and get stronger and, affect more places that have never been affected before. Even Australia, we're getting earthquakes, and we never get earthquakes. Our volcano activity will increase. In America, we got some very big volcanoes that are starting to like come to life, and they're
Well,
watching
we've got,
supervisors.
yeah,
So,
this
yeah.
Mary Greenlee just reported. She reports, I'm just reading on the outside of her videos. I mean that's all the information we kind of need. She reports that there was an earthquake in here in America, a Yellowstone,
Hmm.
she's reporting morning earthquake shakes. That was 5 days ago. And
Hmm.
then 6 days ago, Yellowstone volcano earthquakes reports. So she is reporting that, yeah, America is having earthquakes. Kansas is having earthquakes, and we don't have earthquakes. Kansas doesn't shake. So, yeah, it's getting very
America.
interesting. Yeah, and we've got a lot of volcanoes going off too.
Hmm. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
volcanoes are coming to life in America and
Mm-hmm.
surrounding America. Once the volcanoes start to go off in America, this is my prediction to all of that. That's when America is going to start to see some of the bigger things predicted for it start to happen. Because when the volcanoes start going off, that's coming from deep inside it, deep, deep, deep inside Mother Earth, and it's getting to that point where it's revving up, and then it explodes. That is a rumble that's deep inside our planet that starts to move everything, and it heats. And think about the lava's coming out like from the top. Imagine all that lava deep within the ground, like it's just too hot, and that makes everything unstable. That makes that rumble, that heat. So when we start seeing all those volcanoes in the American region, Hawaii and stuff, all starting to come to life, you can be sure that Mother is about to sing her praises. Like
Yeah,
she is coming to life when the volcanoes start to go off. And even when people talk about the 3 days of darkness and 3 nights and all that kind of stuff, that is all pole shift related. But that is the only way that kind of stuff can happen is when all the volcanoes are going off around the world and the ash from the volcanoes goes into the skies, and it covers the sky so the sun cannot beam through the all the ash from the volcanoes. And that is how we are going to get 3 days of night, 3 days of darkness, 3 nights, whatever that is. If that's true, that is still a pole shift prophecy, because that's the only way that can physically happen. Like, we're not just going to have no lights and the sun's just going to disappear. It's because volcano ash will go and cover the sun, cover the skies, and the sun can't beam through, and you get the darkness during the day because of the ash in the sky. So all
that
those
makes
kind of
sense.
predictions and stuff that you hear, you still have to have a physical thing that happens for that to happen. So yes.
Yes,
If you're
I
still
agree with
prepping
you.
for that, watch the
Yeah.
volcanoes.
And I know you've been keeping an eye on this. If anyone's
Hmm.
interested, follow Anne on her Facebook page
Hmm.
and her Instagram, and she's always posting what's going on. I mean, you can go way back, and since
Hmm.
2020, she's been posting things
Yep.
about what's going on with this planet. Whenever I want to see what's going on, or what the latest earthquake or volcano or tornado or tsunami or whatever, go to Anne's page. She'll have it right on there.
Yes,
It's
I'm a
very
geek for
interesting.
that stuff.
She is.
Yeah.
She's a geek for that. I didn't know much about the pole shift until I met Anne and started working with her, and she started educating me on it, and it makes sense. And I do believe that Mother is rejuvenating,
Hmm.
um,
Yep.
just like
She will
us.
purge. She's
Just like
purging.
us. Just
Hmm.
like we are. She's
Hmm.
purging this old energy, coming
Hmm.
into the new energy. We are going into the golden age, and I do believe that it's going to be new. It's going to be new everything, and that's what all this purging is all about. I'm purging, Anne's purging. You should be
Hmm.
purging,
Hmm.
and because what we've been doing is no longer going to work for us. We cannot bring any of our old habits or any of our old ways of doing anything the way that we used to do it, not even the way you used to manifest. Whatever you would do spiritually is not going to work for you in these new energies. So it's all about restoration, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And
So,
we're a part of mother. And if mother's purging,
mhm,
she wants us to purge too. And,
yep.
you know, about 2020, 2021, I started feeling like a pain in my chest, and it was physical and it hurt. And and as I've cleaned out my body, I've felt so much more like not in pain. And but when I went and asked, because I went to doctors, they couldn't give me any help. You have anxiety, go. And I'm like, no, it's physical. I can feel it. But when I got some of the indigenous healing, how they made sense to it to me was, you are mother. You are very connected to Mother Earth, whether you realize it or not. And mother's heartbeat is just starting to activate inside of you, and your heart chakra, and it's physical, like, because your chakras, even though we can't see, they're physically inside our body. And when we are super connected to mother, sometimes our chakras are going to start to activate. And so if mother's going through these changes, you got to, if you start feeling different ways and starting to feel like different, maybe that's mother connected to you, going, hey, this is my heartbeat, you need to start, you want to be on my rhythm, you need to get on my rhythm and clean out your body and purge the way I'm purging. So, you know, we are mother. We have to understand our physical bodies, we are mothers. So if mother's going through these changes, maybe it's time for us to go through the changes with her. And it will probably make you feel better in your body, in your mind, your soul, all of it, when you can connect your physical body, your spiritual self, to mother's heartbeat. And you know watch mother, what's she doing.
I always say, this is one of my sayings I like to say, breathe with mother,
Mm-hmm.
breathe with her, get that rhythm going with her,
Mm-hmm.
you know, go to bed when the sun goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up when the sun goes up, breathe with mother, walk with mother. You, I know I sound like a broken record because I say this a lot, you guys, but I will keep saying it. You come from mother. This human, beautiful body that you have, this vessel, this part of you that has a beginning and has an end, comes from mother. You are made of more microbiome organisms than you are human cells. And that's the truth. That is facts. So you are fungus. And that is
Amazing.
why I know that, and that's why you are so drawn to mushrooms. Everybody is drawn to mushrooms. I don't know anyone who in their lifetime didn't go walk by a mushroom, see a mushroom on the ground, or see mushrooms somewhere and say, and they want to go look at that mushroom. They want to go touch that mushroom because they can hear that mushroom. You
Mm-hmm.
come from mushrooms. That
Mm-hmm.
the mushrooms are the connectors of this planet. That is what mother uses to keep our the ecosystem balanced. So, Anne's right. Be more like
Your
mother.
mother.
Breathe with mother. Yeah, breathe
Mm-hmm.
with mother. Walk with mother.
Mm-hmm.
And take
Feel
time
her.
to.
You can
Yeah.
feel her in your body.
Mhm. Yes. And there's a lot of titles. There's a lot of names for that kind of stuff, but forget all that stuff. Just feel her and be with her. I mean, go put your feet in some sand. Go put your feet in some really good dirt in the woods. I mean, it feels good. You just, all your stress, everything goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And
or,
there's
or
people now,
water. I love
yep.
doing it in water, like the ocean or spring water, like anything that's. I love that kind of grounding. I find that I like that kind of grounding because it still flows and it washes, and it has that flowy feeling, and that's kind of where my mother energy likes. I like to be able to bend and flow. So, but I find it so grounding and so cleansing too. So yeah,
Yeah, you're
bodies.
lucky. You're right by the water. You're right by the ocean.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm not, I'm not around too much water, but I find it,
But
I
if you
get
can
to it.
find it.
Hmm. Yes. I know that some of our viewers that watch, they've got a lot of water around them too. They've got lakes, streams, rivers. I gotta travel a bit to it, but it's okay. I do. If not, then I just find a really beautiful, lush green area. And they're here, believe it or not. It's so amazing with all the 5G towers and all of this dirty energy being thrown at me that I literally can find spots where the grass is just green as green and big, beautiful trees. And that's where I'll ground. It's what, it's what I've got. I gotta use what I got, and that's just the way it
Whatever.
is.
Even animals, you can use your animals to ground. Like, go
Yeah,
and like cuddle your animal and feel that warmth and that heartbeat. And you go and, animals have such a, they're a mother. Like, they just have this beautiful energy. When you hold them and you spend time and you connect to that energy, you're connecting to mother through your animals. That's why animals are so healing and beautiful for humans when you have that connection with them, because they are mother. So when you have that connection and you spend that time just patting, your cat or your dog, and you're grounding back into mother through your pet. Because humans are mother, but we have that intelligence, and we go off into our thoughts and connect to all the crazy spiritual crap that's out and the delusions and stuff. But animals are just pure mother, and they're pure love from mother, and they help a human ground back into mother through their interaction with them and stuff. So sometimes I can't get to the water. I can't get, I don't want to go out there and I just go and play with my cats and cuddle them and feel their warmth and that little heartbeat, and, have them lie on my chest. And I calm right down, and I feel more grounded and back in a happy place. And yeah, mother. I
okay.
love mother.
Yes, well, you should. You're on her planet. Okay, Nova, I just sent it to you. It's just Ann Kalman, just her name. Super
Yeah,
simple.
nothing special.
Yeah,
There's nothing
no.
special. It's just me, and it's not like you're gonna find like the answers. I just put all the like pole shift kind of stuff out there,
Yeah.
and some people
She
might
doesn't,
find it very depressing
yeah, right. But she
because
does
it's
have
all
5
natural
years of records.
disasters.
If you go back on her social media, she's got 5 years of records
Oh
of
yeah.
what's been going on with this pole shift. So she's got a pretty good documentation on her on her Facebook on it. So I think it's pretty cool. And then
Mhm.
if you want to, Nova, you can go ahead and do a friend request on her, and you guys can chat back and forth.
Sure.
So yeah, yeah. She's good. She's really good at counseling too. So you're welcome, Nova. I'm glad you're still with us. I'm surprised you are because
Yeah.
I know this is your child's time. Um, but it is 7:20. We've got about 2 minutes, and I just kind of want to go down on the rundown of what we've got going on here at Elevated by Claudine this week. I will be back on again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Arizona time with Julie. We will be back at it again. We took last Monday off, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning. I really don't know what we'll be talking about tomorrow. I think what I want to talk about, well, for one, we'll be talking about Julie and her trip. She took off to go see her new baby. And I think we're going to talk about change. I think change is, and we didn't elaborate too much on change here, and I want to talk a lot about change. And so I think I'm going to do that. I think that's a really good topic to talk about because it's so hard to want to change. And then Nova, if you can get on tomorrow morning, please do because yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to want an update on you on that live tomorrow morning. We do have about 8 people that join us every morning, and so it's a pretty
That's
good
fun.
live. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. Um, Hello, I just like to see different things. My dad did the same thing. Oh, that's so cool. So your dad was a chaser too? That's what I call Anne, a mother storm chaser.
I just don't physically go there. I just watch them all.
Yeah.
I like the earthquakes and the volcanoes. They're like my favorite to follow and keep an eye on.
I like the
I
earth.
think
I mean,
that.
I like the volcanoes. I think volcanoes are super
Mm,
cool.
mhm.
Earthquakes are just so dangerous. I grew up in them. I know how terrifying they are. So, oh, look at that. They took her off, you
Oh
guys.
my
They,
goodness.
oh, is that your phone that's doing that? We love
I
you too,
lost
Victor.
all my sound again.
No, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Down. Oh my god, it just all froze.
That's okay. It's 7:22 anyways. I don't think she can hear us. But we love you
I
too.
can't hear anything.
Oh yeah, we could talk about the chemtrails. The chemtrails would be really good to talk about. I got some information on that too, and how we can combat those, Nova. So, all right, I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down right now so we don't forget. Okay, chemtrails and anything that wasn't mainstream. And 9 All right. Okay, you guys, that'll end the show. It was perfect timing for Anne to go down. I guess it was meant for her to go. But all right. I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll see you guys here next Monday at 5:22. And you guys have a happy everything. Love you all.